Hi guys, this is the advisor and welcome back to my channel. Now, I never thought I would ever be doing another YouTube video with the Firearms Licensing Authority heading the list of charismatism that goes on in this country. I really never expected that. But unfortunately, they are in the spotlight again, and this time it is worst. You couldn't believe it is this bad. You see, this is the sad case of Ronald Baxter and Theresa Baxter, two decent, upstanding, law-abiding citizens of Jamaica who are now facing up to 15 years in prison just for being decent, law-abiding citizens and choosing to choose life over death. And I'm going to explain to you. Now, Ronald Baxter, he's a Jamaican born, but he has been living in the United States for quite a number. He has been living in North Carolina for quite a number of years. He is an ex-military man, ex-army person. He is also a Gulf War veteran. Now, he currently runs several car wash businesses in the United States. I think it's 3 different car wash business he owns over there, and his wife is a nurse, a registered nurse. Back in 2017, they decided to build a home in Jamaica, and his wife, I'm not quite sure if she is Jamaican, but I know she has some connection to Jamaica. They decided to come back to Jamaica and start spending some time here, and they decided to invest in the country, and they started building a home. They chose an area, a place known as Toby Heights in Clarendon, because I think that's where Ronald Baxter come from. That's not where he's from, that's where his wife is connected to, but somewhere one of them is connected to Clarendon. Now, in the background, I'm going to be showing you some videos, video of Toby Heights from the air, so you can see what the area looks like. It is a very posh neighborhood with houses valuing 30, 40, 50, 60 million Jamaican dollars. And you can see also that there are lots of open lots, lots of houses in the building, in the stage of being built. Some houses are completed, but what you'll notice is that the area is underdeveloped in the sense that there are lots of open lots and there are lots of wide spaces where anything can happen. In other words, it is not safe. Now, after Mr. Baxter finished the house in, I think, about late 2019, he put one of his nephew to live in the house while he is overseas. He would come and he would spend some time in Jamaica, but he put a nephew to go and live in there while it was being built and until it was finished. But he got to realize during the COVID time that this nephew that he put there was actually on the wrong side of the law. And some money had come to do some things on the house, and the nephew had taken the money and used it for himself. And when Mr. Baxter came to Jamaica, the money was not available, and the thing that was to be done had not been done. Mr. Baxter also learned from neighbors that there are a lot of really shady looking people coming to the house. As a matter of fact, one of the time when he came down, he realized that his nephew had actually rented out one of his rooms. Or even if it's not rent, he had some guys living in parts of the house, even a section of the house that Mr. Baxter didn't want anybody to live, because he considered that his personal quarters when he come to Jamaica. And he spent up to 6 months a year in Jamaica. Anyway, things reached a certain stage and Mr. Baxter put out the nephew, put him out. And from him put out the nephew, he had been receiving threats and severe threats. Now, having made such an investment in this nice two-story home, I think it was 8 or 9 bedrooms, he couldn't leave his property, so he had to stay in Jamaica and protect it, or he has to keep his property safe. So what he decided to do was to apply for a firearms license. He prepared everything according to the list that the FLA gave him to prepare, and he prepared everything and he took it up there. A few months later, the word came down that no, he couldn't get the firearm license. But they told him that he could appeal if he needed to appeal. And that he did. And the appeal cost him, I think it was 40,000 just to appeal. I think it was 15,000, he said, for the original application, but 40,000 for the review of the application. He paid the money, and it came back that no, he still cannot get it. The reason being that he didn't live in Jamaica. He didn't spend all his time in Jamaica. He spent a lot of his time overseas. And therefore, they don't see why he would need a firearm. Oh, and I must say that to hedge his bets, what he had done was to let the wife apply for one also. Because his wife spends 6 months in Jamaica out of every year. And he himself spent another 6 months. So she had applied about 3 months after. So by the time his application failed, and within weeks, she was denied a firearm license also. Even though he had expressed that, listen, I live in this place, I have a bad nephew, he's mixing with the wrong crowd, they are gunmen, they are thieves, they are criminal, and I fear for my life. They wasn't buying it neither from him. His wife decided to reapply because she said both she and her husband, they have firearms license to carry in the United States. And they have guns there, and they attach even the firearms license, those documents, to show that they are fit and proper person to hold firearms license in the United States of America. And at the same time, she was also turned down. A registered nurse, a pillar of the American society, and a pillar of the Jamaican society was turned down. Now let me backtrack a bit. Before the nephew had been kicked out, he had been intending to apply, but he had said, listen, if they ever turn me down, I'm still going to get a firearm, because I would rather the police come find me in the house with a gun and send me to prison more than gunman running for me and take my life just like that, and I have nothing to defend myself. I'll take my chances. Now he had somebody in the house. He had a caretaker in the house. And somehow that caretaker was in some correspondence with the nephew. And she apparently overheard that what was going on, because after the firearms license of both Mr. Baxter and his wife had been turned down, he actually went out and on the black market, he got a firearm. He got a Glock pistol. Because he decided that once he's in Jamaica, he had to protect himself. Anyway, the nephew now realized that his uncle is armed. So, because what the nephew had told the uncle was, listen, if me can live in the house, then you have to go dead so me can get the house. So it's either I live in the house with you there, you take me back to live in the house, or I am going to dirt you and get the house for myself. But somehow you can be living in there and I'm not living in there. You know how crowds might think. They are parasites and they think that everything anybody owns is just belongs to them. That's it. End of story. Your name in it, but it's mine. And if me want it, me just take it. No rules, no nothing. Me want it, it's mine. The nephew somehow got wind that he was turned down, but he still has a firearm to protect himself. So none of them was coming to test the house, because they know that if they test the house and it is true, there will be trouble. And the nephew know that he's a marksman. He's a former Marine or a former U.S. Army soldier, and that he's an expert marksman, and no matter amount of gunmen are among them out there, they wouldn't be able to take him on. So they wasn't going to come at him. Even if he lock up the house and go away, they would not make any attempt, because the house has security alarm and cameras and etc. But they wasn't going to take any chance with him. But he needed that firearm for his protection. So happened that this nephew, well, it is believed this is the nephew, got call police, because police came to his house and they dig down the house from top to bottom. They got a search warrant, which means they were lined up good. They lined them up good. When they came to the house, they found it safe that the firearm, because he would have had to have gotten a safe to keep the firearm in before even applying for the weapon. So he applied for the weapon after buying the safe and getting everything, grill off the house, get everything done, dot every I, cross every T to get the firearm, and he was turned down as not being a fit and proper person to carry a firearm. The police came to his house like about midday, and way down in the evening, about going down tonight, about in the 5 o'clock bells, they actually found the weapon somewhere behind some compartment in the washroom. Found it. He and his wife are in Jamaica, and they were charged for illegal possession of firearm. Now, just imagine this man, a decent law-abiding citizen, a person who the United States of America, who vet you totally. Jamaican authorities have decided that this man is not a fit and proper person to carry a firearm to protect himself, even though he told them the area he is living in, the threat to his life, his situation, his circumstances, that did not sway them. Now, his wife, a registered nurse, and himself are in jail. Well, I don't know if they are on bail yet, but they were they were arrested. Now, this couple is facing up to 15 years in prison, because they were charged jointly, because they were alone at the house at the time. Now, just imagine that the FLA, the Firearms Licensing Authority of Jamaica, has put people in a situation where they have to choose between either doing 15 years in prison for protecting themselves, or just be at the mercy of gunmen and just die when they come for you. Please note that one of the reasons that the Jamaican authorities gave was that he doesn't spend enough time in Jamaica. But let me tell you how they do it. They normally spend a year in Jamaica. Together, they spend 1 year. Each year, they spend a year. What I mean is that the wife come down for 6 months at a time, because she's also doing some other investments in Jamaica, because the wife, even though she's a registered nurse, she no longer works with the in the hospital. She has her own home care facility that she owns, and she runs her own home care where she takes care of old people and all that, and she has people running the business, and she supervises it from Jamaica. When she's in Jamaica, she can manage it from here, because she has her managers there and she can oversee everything. So it's not that she has neglected anything by being in Jamaica. She's earning her money same way and investing in other properties and in other stuff right here in Jamaica. He ended up spending 6 months, 3 months of which they spend together. So if you check his 6 months and her 6 months, it spans together, it's a year they spend in country. Now, for this couple who loves Jamaica so much, And just out of fear for their lives, they have to resort to illegal means. They have a choice. And look at the choice. It's either you risk doing 15 years in prison and lose your reputation, lose your freedom, lose everything, and rot in jail, or just become a lamb to the slaughter. And the Firearms Licensing Authority is leaving everybody to their own device. You just not get no gun. And you know what should have been happening? The fact that gunmen have so many weapons. This is when all decent citizens should be given firearms. As a matter of fact, any person who owns a home and live in a home value more than, say, $10 million supposed to automatically be able to get a firearm to protect their home and property. Especially when you consider that this place, Toby Heights, has houses value up to $50 and $60 million. And most of these people cannot get a firearm. They are left out there like lambs to the slaughter. While the head of the FLA, they have as much guns that they want, that they do not even need. So I have to ask all the time, why? Why is the FLA so adamant and fastidious about the fact that they do not think that decent Jamaicans should be able to protect themselves? This is not a blot on this country. This is a blot on everything to do with Jamaica, and it is evil. And for FLA, I don't know how I can call it out anymore. Only is a set a pee hole, and I can't put it any better. And believe me, them fi gas you know and light on a fire, hold on up there, and the place must burn to the ground. I honestly feel so. And you know, just before I'm posting this video, I'm getting some word that there is a Jeffrey Forbes and a Patrice Forbes of South Carolina, a couple who are facing the same situation, which they live in Cave Valley, Hanover, and they are in the same situation. I'm going to try to get their story, but believe me, I would be surprised if they had applied for firearm licenses too and had been turned out. But this is another American Jamaican couple of Cave Valley, Hanover, who this happened to them last month. So, and we don't know how many cases of decent Jamaicans who are faced with the dilemma of choosing between doing 15 years and losing their reputation and everything they have owned. They have to choose between that and protecting their lives. What a thing that we as Jamaicans are forced to face in this country called Jamaica. Somebody need to take this up in hand, and I don't know who or where, but the Minister of National Security need to look into this. Now, the nephew will laugh all the way, because chances are, how him set up him barracks, he might be able to now live in the house because the couple is now in prison and he might take over the house and run it. We don't know, but I'm quite sure that it is end game. Now you see how the bad guys win, and you see how the Jamaican government is complicit in the evil that is here to befall decent people. That's why them say, you know, a few years ago Peter Phillips said, he who plays by the rules is the one who gets shafted. And here, people try to play by the rules, and to save their lives, they are forced to go outside of the rules in order to protect their lives. And what happened to them? They still lose. Is that fair, Jamaica? Is that fair? Because the cases of Ronald Baxter and Theresa Baxter of Toby Heights, and the case also of Jeffrey Forbes and his wife Patrice Reed Forbes of Cave Valley, Hanover, who is also from the United States. I'm not quite sure where. and who face the same thing. And God, He knows how many couples. But if there's anybody who know any couple who are in the same situation, contact me, let me know. I will put it out there, because if we put this enough out there about the injustice going on, that they're turning decent people into criminals, I am sure something will have to be done if the voices get loud enough. Guys, thanks for watching. Like, share, leave a comment below, and I look forward to seeing you in my next video.